Hopefully we rocking. All right, this is kind of it's mostly unscripted, really raw conversation, but I do have an anchor. As I was thinking about what I wanted to ground the conversation into, I heard I only want what's for me. So, this is my reflection, kind of diary, transparent conversation around all things United Way Social Impact Accelerator, which it makes me smile thinking about it. I'm very proud. I'm very grateful. And so, let's get into it. Last summer, summer 2024, I found out. In fact, I was in New Orleans. I think it was Essence Weekend. I believe it was Essence Weekend. And I got the notification that I moved from being a finalist to one of the 10 selected Accelerator Fellows for the United Way Social Impact Accelerator Fellowship 2024-2025. Very excited, very humbling. If I'm being honest, when I put my application in, I think late spring, I didn't necessarily I think I did it the day before, into the night of it being due, and it was just to challenge myself. I didn't put a lot of practice or power behind getting into or applying for it, but I knew that what we were creating at Creative Flow School, what we were developing, was super special. I had some ideas for what I wanted to put in the world, and I thought if I really want to make an impact where I live, this is an opportunity for me to do it with a really incredible organization backing it. And so it was almost like a validation test. So I went on to apply, and then in July, I got the notification that early summer, right before, or maybe May, I think, I got the opportunity to go on stage as a finalist. And I didn't know how many people at that stage were that were selected as finalists. So got on stage. I remember going in my little green suit, telling my story. Awesome. I think we had 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes, something like that, to get up there and do that. Even then, again, I was practicing, I was excited, I was doing the work, but I didn't necessarily think I was going to get in. So when July, Essence Weekend, I'm with a client and I got the notification, it was wow. One of 10 programs selected, one of 10 companies, social impact organizations, a mixture of nonprofit and for-profit social enterprise organizations, were selected, and we were one of them. And honestly, that was a very affirming moment for my life and for my work. I'm so grateful that I got into that program. I'm so grateful for the people I got to meet and for those that I got to work with, and eventually the mentors that I got paired with. Just an absolute blessing, something that I will always cherish, and something that has truly helped me grow and get even more clear about the impact that I want to have in this world. And the work that I've been able to do to date is only because of community and only because of collaboration. So naturally, being in a program that really forces you to stretch yourself and look at what does impact look like beyond the immediate plan, but what would it look like to be funded? What would it look like to have access to resources, to community, to help you grow in such a short amount of time? That's what the United Way Social Impact Accelerator is all about. Being in a room full of amazing people who are committed to the causes that I'm committed to. Specifically, what I love about United Way, specifically about SIA, is that the areas that they serve are health and education and income. And Creative Flow School, the program we were designing, and the programs and the work that we've been supporting, has really lived in the space of education and employment or income. And so the program we designed, which I won't talk too much about on this particular video, but what we were and what we plan to in the near future really launch with, intersected all three. We were at the intersection of all three. So the program was incredible, right? And we spent the first portion of the program in a boot camp. That boot camp was 6 weeks long, and we were paired with twice a week with industry professionals. Are you okay? You okay? Coco got something to say. I'll be back. Okay, so I was saying, we were paired with incredible mentors During the boot camp, prior to our mentors, we were actually paired with, or twice a week, we were supported by professionals. So we had discussions from everything from like grant development to accounting and bookkeeping to marketing and fundraising, like you name it. The topics were pretty vast, and they cover a lot of ground. We also, at the end of boot camp, we were able to present to all of the mentors in the program. And we had to kind of do it like speed dating style, which is pretty cool, speed networking. So you had like a couple of minutes with each mentor to tell them who you are, tell them what your work is, even though, yes, they had a chance to, like, of course, view our profiles. Many of them voted. I'm pretty certain all of them voted on who the selection for the top 10 fellows would be anyway. So they knew a little bit about us, but it's nothing like having like that one-on-one connection, sitting with someone face to face and telling them about your vision. So that's what Mentor Match was all about. So that was fun. Lots of fun. A chance for me to like sharpen myself. How fast and efficiently can I tell my vision and essentially sell myself and the work we're doing. So I was paired with 3 awesome mentors. I want to shout out and say thank you to Jamaica who represents AT&T, to Lane, who represents Park Hub, and JW, who represents Toyota. He was my lead mentor. JW is just an awesome person, someone who is like a veteran when it comes to nonprofit, social enterprise work, someone who has a heart for it genuinely. And then Lane has been, I think all of them have been a part of the United Way mentorship, like as a mentor in the program for quite some time. But you could just tell the love and passion that they had. They were so available to me. Like, I specifically just want to say thank you guys. Like it was rare. It's rare to see people who genuinely are busy make time the way that they did for me week after week for the entire period of the program together. And I would argue that even today, after this program, I have formed relationships that I know are available to me for life. And I just want to say thank you to the mentors who selected me, because we selected one another. So my special thanks to them. After being paired with your mentor, you're essentially in the program working towards demo day, which is your opportunity to get in front of the mentors again, demonstrate the work that you've been able to achieve. There are a couple of stages that you have to successfully complete. There's the monthly reports that show that we are meeting with our mentors. We're out here doing the work that we say we're going to do, and we're just like reporting and giving updates on that. But there's also milestones, and milestones are designed as markers in your business that you design to be completed within the time frame of the program. So one of my milestones, for example, was to design a custom curriculum for the program that we wanted to launch through the United Way SIA program. So we were able to, or the beta version of that curriculum. So we were able to design that beta version of that curriculum, and that was one of my 3 milestones. So all in all, a great program, truly challenging. And so I want to talk about like probably my biggest, there's two big takeaways for me. There's 2, maybe more, but at least 2 that come up for me right now. The very first thing is how much we underestimate something like a fellowship, something like an accelerator, in terms of like the time commitment and honestly the mental capacity that it took up in my life. While in this program, I was stretched. I grew so much. I made a lot of sacrifices to be fully immersed in the program, fully immersed in my milestones, fully immersed in the promises that I made through this program, because I did not want to miss any opportunity to do great work. So I poured myself into it. Now, as a social enterprise, that means that I put and left a lot of my typical for-profit work and I put it on the back burner so I could pour myself into my programming. Do I have regrets? No. Was it challenging? Yes. Did it cost me? Yes, it did. Do I regret it? No. Because I can honestly say that while I did not make it to the top 5, I have completely grown my vision for myself, for my team, for the work that we can do. If I was able to do as much as we did with those 3 milestones in like 12 weeks, I can't imagine what it would look like for us to have unlimited resources and the proper time and capacity to really scale even in 12 months. So it taught me that like the limitations and challenges that a lot of times we place on ourselves, they can be removed just like that. And it taught me that I don't personally have the capacity to run a full nonprofit organization or social enterprise organization at this stage the way that I desire. Like it would require and will require so much more funding and capacity to do the kind of work that I want to do, and collaboration, right? So Arlen, one of my coaches, Arlen always says you either have time or you have money. Some people have both. But if you have time, then you do the work, right? You learn the skills. You put the time and you put those hours in to get the job done. If you have money, then you hire, you delegate, you outsource. And in a program like this, you get a little bit of money and you're on limited time. So I really, every day was a decision of use time versus use money. Which resource am I going to expend today? And I burned out, if I'm honest, like towards the end, while I made it to the finish line, I was exhausted. I was putting in every waking hour just towards the program and living up to the work that I was doing, like the research. I mean, really committed. Like it would take a whole nother video for me to talk about the program itself. But I was so deeply immersed in that. It was my life for over 3 months. And looking back, I am very clear that I would need either more time or more money to be able to do that kind of work. And I understand why some people say do not start a nonprofit. It's not wise or smart to start a nonprofit until you have the kind of funding, especially if you have a for-profit business and you decide to introduce that kind of work. Like it should fund it in some way. Like you should have the capacity built, because it really is, honestly, and this is no shade to my amazing nonprofit friends. Heck, I am board chair for a great nonprofit that is growing, who was also in the Accelerator with me. So shout out to Dementia Care Warriors. But I say that to simply say that, like, looking back and what I have learned, I will wait to really run Creative Flow School's nonprofit arm until my for-profit business is at the level of success that I need it to be at, so that I have the time and it has the resources. So that means in this beautiful time that I have, like, focusing on grants and funding will be key, focusing on strategic partnerships and collaboration, but slowing down on delivery of programs, delivery of and design of programs. This is not the time. It just isn't. And it took for me to go through the program for me to really see that. It's a hard pill to swallow and also a blessing. So I remember making a very specific prayer that I did every possible thing I could to pour myself into our program. I'm so proud of it. My team killed it. Gosh, like we put just so much love. Every young person that we talked to that helped us develop this program, their parents, our communities, our clients, our collaborators, like the advisory board, everyone poured in, and I'm so proud and so grateful. And I'm also not ashamed to admit that my prayer prior to getting on stage for demo day was specific. I remember saying, like, you know, God, what's for me is for me. And I only want what's for me. And I also only want what's for me in the season that I'm supposed to receive. I don't want to force or fast track anything that is not meant to be right now cultivated. So I believe I put in 110%. And I believe that the outcome of demo day is exactly how it was supposed to go. 5 incredible organizations move forward. I'm very proud of the 5 that made it. I'm so proud. I just need to shout out like my girl in education. Like I can't help but love up on Saki and the GEMS camp because it really is an organization after my heart. And while we didn't make it to top 5, I see the trajectory of possibilities for collaboration with her and with Laura and with Jason, like everyone, like amazing. I believe that the best of the best made it to the stage. And I have no problem saying that. And I also think it's not just about, like when I say best of best, I'm not saying that from the standpoint of my program was less valuable than their program, but I think that their programs were more ready than my program, period. They were veterans. A lot of the people that made it to the stage truly were veterans in the program design that they were delivering, and the results and the metrics, it was there. The data was there. We were launching something. We were testing something. We were a beta in something. They've been in the game. They got skin in the game. So I literally am so proud of them. And I'm grateful because it sharpened me in ways that I never knew I needed. And I don't think I would have had any other opportunity to receive. So I'm really grateful to, Jennifer Clark and everyone who contributed to the United Way CA Accelerator this year. It was really a life-changing experience. So my prayer resulted in the outcome. And I believe I needed to take and have for the last 2 months, taken a step back to take care of moi. me. I needed a break, okay? Here's the video that I sent my team. Hey team, I pray that everyone is well. It is the 31st of January, and I thought this is the perfect time to just record this message, send it out, share a few updates, and connect with you all. I know we've all been so busy this month, just adjusting to the climate that we're facing, and honestly, just finding ways to humanize our experience as much as possible. So I want to share a couple of updates and just let you see my face if we haven't had a chance to have a one-on-one. One of the first things is Wednesday, we competed for United Way Social Innovation Accelerator. We were of the top 10 fellows, and then we went on to compete to become one of the top 5 fellows. Creative Flow School did not move forward in the process, but we did earn some amazing accolades and some great relationship referrals. And of course, we walked away with the funding that was a part of like that initial program. So I'm really grateful for just everything that we've done through this program. It has been a game changer. And all I can tell you is like every single business shined so brightly for the pitches. But the winners, who I think moved on to top 5, had a lot of seniority under their belt, and I think they deserve those spots. In a room full of A's, I would call them A pluses. And I'm really happy to say that it's kind of rare to be in a room where you really feel like every single person is excellent when you're competing. And that is when you know you have reached a great just program and a great space. So I'm really grateful for that. And I just wanted to share that with you all. I feel really good. It's a part of an answered prayer. One of the things that I asked for clarity and direction was that based on that would lead me into my next steps and kind of help me map out my quarter ahead. As I'm entering my 35th year this year, it's really important that I get clear about the direction that I want to take my own life as well as my work. And, really learning to prioritize my wellness as the foundation for anything that I put out in the world. This project, these last few months, you guys saw me. Some of y'all saw I was like barely above water. So it was, I think, timely. I think the best possible outcome, because now between now and then, had we moved forward, it would have been continuous grind from now till April 9th, which is when they will go on to pitch forward. And I don't know that I have the capacity to really do that. Don't get it twisted. Had we moved forward, I definitely would have done what it took, but and honoring my humanness and honoring the climate of the times and honoring being a person first and a business owner down that list, I feel really good. I was just celebrating with a couple of my close friends for how far I've made it. And also the resilience that comes with being able to take a loss, but see it as an opportunity. That's what I teach. So it's very easy for me to embody that. But I just wanted to share with you all, like, it is not a loss. It's a reroute, and one that I'm really grateful for. So I meant what I said, every little bit of it. And now, after having taken that break, I feel so refreshed, so much more clear, so much more confident. I don't owe anybody anything. So when I got quiet and rogue, it wasn't because I was sad. It wasn't because I was like defeated. No, I needed a break. And I have always been unapologetic about the pursuit of my peace, but even more so as I have become a woman and someone who is managing, I literally run a business, an organization, and I work as a full-time freelance project manager. So like my life is pretty full, and that doesn't include my relationships, the ones that I'm forming, the ones that I'm creating, the ones that I already have, my familiar relationships, wanting to have a family of my own. Like there's so many other elements of my life. So when I say I need a break, I'm going to take it before it takes me. Because ain't nothing like having to be sat down because you didn't listen and care for yourself. And I think about had I made it to top 5, it would have been another 8-week sprint. And I don't think my body, my mind, my heart, my soul could have handled that. Does that make me less qualified? Does that make me less successful? Absolutely not. Because I'm going to tell you about me. I've already set a goal that if at minimum anyone on that stage is going to walk away with at minimum $60,000. I set a goal to make sure that I close no less than $60,000 to put towards my nonprofit by the end of this year. Come hella high water, that's what I'm going to do. I stand by what I say. So I'm really excited because it really just gave me an opportunity to set a goal for myself, whether that be through grants, whether that be through collaboration, whether that be through an investor who believes in our for-profit business that we can then contribute to our nonprofit. Like however it comes, I know it's coming. 60,000, like not to diminish the money itself, but it's nothing. Like I got this, we got this. I have that much faith and confidence in my work and the work that, we're producing. So it's just an exciting time to kind of come back refreshed, to know that what's for me is for me and not nothing is missed. Nothing is ever wasted. My experiences were necessary. Where I'm going next, the trajectory of where I'm going, I have an even greater North Star. I have awesome people that I form relationships with through this accelerator. I have a new fire. I also got a new peace, the kind that says like outcomes, the only outcome that really matters is the one that is the needle moving towards the goal. And so I declare and know with certainty, without any hesitation and doubt, that Creative Flow School will be an incredible force to be reckoned with when it comes to cultivating the space for young people to be successful and to thrive as they transition from the classroom to career and design lives of their dreams that they can afford to live, that they have abundant finances around, so that they don't have to have the struggle that I had and that many of us have had to experience, that they get to skip the ugly steps, and that through the program we've designed and will continue to sharpen and perfect before it goes live, that they won't have to guess where they belong in the workforce. They will have exposure, they will have the experience, they will have the mentorship, they will have the foresight to make executive decisions that support the lives that they want to live. And they'll be able to do it without the stress that many of the generations before them have had to undergo. So that is my spiel. That is me simply coming to share kind of what I've been up to. I've been resting, been working, but I've been resting. I've been taking care of myself. And I just want to say I'm so proud of the 5 people, the 5 organizations that are moving forward. I'm also proud of the 4 other fellows who did not make it to top 5, who continue to do great work in Dallas and beyond. We are forever connected. We are literally one of the cohorts that I think just blew it out of the water. I sat in demo day inspired as I listened to my peers. And there's no greater feeling than being inspired by the people in the same circle as you. Because I ain't gonna lie. And y'all know how it is when you're in a room and you're like not being challenged. And if you feel like you are up here and people are down here, like that's not satisfying. That's not progress. That's not gonna help you grow. I want to be around people that sharpen me. I want to be around people that challenge me. I don't want to always be the best, because then there's no room for possibility for growth for me. So I got something to grow towards, and I'm very proud and very grateful for my opportunity to have been selected and to continue to be one of the top 10 fellows for United Way SIA's Social Impact Accelerator program here out of Dallas. And I'm so grateful for everything that every organization will continue to do and the opportunities for us to continue to work together. This is just the beginning. Happy spring. Whoever wins on that stage, I just know you deserve it. And I'm very excited to continue to do this great work. So that's what I've been up to. I just want to close out with saying, and I want to remind you, you only want what's for you in the season in which it should be. All things are working together perfectly for your wellness, for your goodness, for the betterment of your life, which ultimately is the prerequisite for the betterment of anybody else's life. And any impact that you really want to make on this world has to come first from being super solid and super well. So I'm always going to lean towards that. And I hope that my life and like these steps that I take in these moments to take a step back and share are insightful and inspiring and are a reminder to be human first, and everything else will follow. Peace.